We got 6 alignment on the field. We carried a run off of this with a crack scheme. And here's what I guess I'm trying to get at. Like, okay, here's the Mackey Award winner drawing attention. This could be anybody. The scheme's job is to spring that guy open. We'll get to this in a second, but when you have dudes all around you, talking about having a complete team, it's not just double Dakota and we'll get off the field.
It's white cell. It's our white cell concept.
That's right. That's right. And just the value of having like our tight end room is the best in the country by far. If you look at the draft, you look at production, look who we have coming back, they're going to draw attention. It makes it hard. It makes it hard. It creates one-on-ones if you're looking to be the one on the outside. Okay, so now we keep Tyler in protection, just a two-man stack up here, not to get too in the weeds. Similar to your sale, we're just selling the deep cross that we just ran, where we bring them over the field, tie somebody down, and throw it to them. You sell that, get them here. And don't get it twisted. Like our receiver room is very. We went to the semifinals. Like you don't get to the semis with a bad receiver room. Like Trey had almost 800 yards this year. It's just the difference, right, between someone who can come in year one and someone who's going to take a few years. You know what I'm saying? But we're a developmental program. And then what I'm going to show Dakota too is, we're going to get you the ball here. From here on is the God-given piece of it. You know what I mean? You work on it, you work on stuff in space, you develop it, but we're going to get you the ball in space. Okay, another way to hide whoever it happened to be a tight end this year, could be anybody. Who's your best dude? Give him the ball. We run bubbles, we run wide zone, make it look like both. Just another classic little 3-level, pump off the bubble, get it to him. Okay. Well, wow, that could be anybody. Here's Cooper Kupp, slot receiver. Same scheme, put it on tape. Very easy to be a wide receiver. Very easy to be actually easier to be a wide receiver running this concept. Okay. Based on the team you're playing, here's the same thing with Jahan. Again, because of here's Parker Washington, starts for the Jaguars. Who's this right here? Which tight end is this? Brenton Strange. So here you got Jaguar starter, first rounder. We alert the post. Get guys open in space. Get guys open in space. And I put Jahan in here just because that's where he wants to be. Top 15 pick. Okay. Talking about getting your best dudes the ball in space. Something Nick Singleton worked on. He came back could have left this year for the draft, came back for his senior year. We'll even put a running back there if that's what it takes. So we got him lined up on a safety. We like that matchup. We get a rub, put it up top. Let your All-American running back go make a play. Same thing. I just pulled McVay because it's a slot receiver. Very easy for it to be a receiver on the same concept in the low red zone. Very easy. Like the way our system is set up, we have a lot of what we call like positionless football. Like you can be anywhere. Okay, this was a core for us. You talk about matchups. Okay, how do I get my first rounder on a favorable matchup? If you want to play a two-high team, here's your best player on the field against a Mike linebacker. We take that all day. We run a lot of shallow cross stuff to get our guys the ball in space. You sell the shallow and then pipe it down the middle for two high teams. And then again, no different than the USC clip I showed you with Trey for the explosive. We'll get you the rock here. And this is where I come in, me and the OC. Like, we'll get you the ball here. The next piece to me is obviously the development, but then your God-given ability after you have the ball in your hands. And now you see the difference between Trey, who's a very good receiver, and he'll have a shot to play on Sundays, between 750 in a season and 1,200 is stuff like this. It's not a lack of targets or you're not throwing the ball or, hey, we just throw it to tight ends. Like, that's bullshit. Excuse my language. I don't know what that means. Okay, you want to talk about screen game, which is historically running backs, receivers. We had to get creative. We're in 12 personnel here, bunch of motion. We do a lot of crack stuff with our running backs. Okay, how do we get Tyler a guaranteed touch on a screen? We had to get creative this year to get Tyler Warren touches. Everyone in the building knows where the ball's going. How do you hide it to get him touches and stay productive week 16 of a season? These are just really cheap, easy ways to put a lot of window dressing on stuff. Get your best ball carrier a ball in space. Okay, going back to when we had a perimeter receiver, different version of a screen, very similar, a little tunnel screen. I'm sure y'all run it. We'll get you the ball here. That's a guaranteed touch. And then from there, having a lineman that can cover up in space and giving you a chance to show your God-given abilities on the biggest stage. Okay, same deal here. Easy touch to Jahan. Give him the ball in space for an explosive on a screen, just flipping it out to him. Okay, we're a big play action team. We'll get into this in a second, but okay, off the same run we carried, we got an internal pressure, getting the ball out quickly to your best player in space off play action. We call it ball out play action. We had our deep stuff, the shots. We call this ball out off the fake. I'm ready to deliver right now. We call this win. You might say, okay, how would that translate to a receiver? This is an install. I put this one on here because this is our day one install for the spring, where you have a similar action off wide zone, similar spot on the field, ball out play action. This is Shanahan. High percentage touches over the middle. Talking about putting this stuff on tape for when it's time for his pro day, when he's doing interviews with GMs, same play, opposite hash, creating catch and run opportunities for our guys. Okay, we'll get into this again. So there's the glance. We ran a lot of that with Jahan. Here's the glance and go. Quarters team. How do we get our best players one-on-one? And I might still be able to make that throw. I don't know. I haven't played in a minute, but I can think I get enough air on it to make that one. Against my old Terps. Same thing here. So Jahan's been outside some, inside. Here he is in the slot. We're trying to tie him down. Again, when that's an All-American tight end, it has an effect of grabbing people and how do we get behind the entire defense. No one within 10 yards of him. Okay, similar deal. There's your All-American. He'll be a draft pick, tie down. How do we get our guys one-on-one in space? Similar deal. There's in the Fiesta Bowl this year. For an explosive. Take you to the wide. So now you're using real dudes to be magnets, to call it, to get us one-on-one with all the space in the world. And what my job is to have dudes here who can make every throw on the field, which we will always have as long as I'm here. I can promise you that. Our quarterback room, excuse me, is as good as anywhere in the country. To get you guys one-on-one. Y'all got any questions on that? I got one more phase, then I know y'all got to work.
What was that last play you just ran that you just showed?
The last play, so it's in our Dubai family. Khalifa, this was like a workforce, but you can call it whatever. We have a million ways to do it, but we call them tie downs. So based on the team we're playing, whether a man team, a quarters team, whatever, Boise was a quarters team. We just ran two what we call stop routes, 12 and right down their stem to grab the safety and grab the corner. His job is to lean and stick them, and then we tell him, hey, it's a big box post. You got all this space to work. And then we typically put a dig and a swing behind it. So we're really going post, dig to the back, 1, 2, 3. Simple. We ran it off tempo. They ran a lot of quarters off of tempo. So all Drew's doing here, you see his eyes. He's just making sure that these guys get tied down, and then it's his job to win his one-on-one. Beat the strong safety. Could have done a little better job in the slot, giving a little lean to the corner. But again, Drew knows, okay, I got these two tied down. I'm throwing them open. Yeah, a little bit. It kind of compounded what we talked about too, was giving a little bit more of a lean because after 10 yards, it plays like man to get his hips open and snap it. Certainly could have, but pretty much a 65-yard handoff. What's that? Yeah, he could have. But at the end of the day, we'll take it when he puts it on his face mask. I'm with you though. Pull him more open, 100%. I'm with you though. I'm with you though. We'll put it up for you. So in terms of the scheme, like why I'm on here, because I'm not working with Dakota day to day, and we need to get into that part, the development plan in terms of releases and all that. And I'm in there in terms of details of routes, like us and the receivers work super closely. But in terms of a scheme, which is more my role, And we just saw it a little bit, but obviously get you all the ball in space and at a minimum get you one-on-one. And ideally one-on-one with a favorable matchup. So if you're better than the corner, we'll take it all day. But going further, what you see a lot in the NFL is, hey, how do we get Dakota on a will linebacker? How do we get Dakota on a safety? Obviously, the majority of snaps, if you're on the outside, is a corner. But how do we get favorable matchups and get you the ball in space? So I did want, these are just stats off PFF from this year. So we were fifth in the country, right below your guys, coach, right below your guys by 0.2% in explosive pass plays at 20 or more. So we'll close that gap. Actually, we had one more, but we had a few more attempts at it. So we're one of the most explosive pass attacks in the country. And this is not a knock, but it is what it is. Like, our receivers know this too. We were this year below average in yards after contact. So my point is, we're gonna get y'all open down the field. That's proven fact. Where we need to grow and we're attacking right now with our guys, and then obviously the next step is recruiting, is how do we get this and be top 5 in the country at yards after contact? You know what I'm saying? Like, this needs to go up, and then from there, that number is only going to go up because the goal is to be the most explosive team in the country. Does that make sense? Like, we're getting a little over 2 yards after contact. That needs to be above the average, way above. That needs to be top 5 for us to be number 1. So, Pops, this is what we did on the board. So I wanted to be able to do it with Coach. The value of having real dudes around you, which we do have in spades. So this is the example I always use. If you look at just defense is just math. Pops, I know you're a calculus teacher. This is basic algebra. So just a 2x2 formation with a tight end and a core. So that we got, if we just turned, I say it to our quarterbacks like this. If I just snap the ball, set and hand it to the running back, we got 6 to block. They got 6 in the box. Simple enough, right? Okay. When this is a dude, which we have, teams aren't going to let you just be 6 for 6 in the box and mow them in the run game. So one of two things has to happen. It has to be quarters with aggressive fitters, or they have to go middle close, whether it's man or 3, to get an extra guy in the box. You know what I'm saying? If this is a dude. Okay, so if your run game's solid and respectable and it's middle closed, what does that mean on the outside?
One-on-one.
It's one-on-one. It's one-on-one. Then when you add the layer, so, okay, you want to get an extra guy in the box. Let's close it up. Cover 3, man, whatever. Okay, we're one-on-one on the outside. Basic, very simple math. I know y'all know that. Or it's quarters, where, okay, I can show too high, but I have fitters. That's where you see the shots behind on the post and stuff like that, because you have no depth to your defense because you got to fit in the run. The other benefit you have here is not just our run game, it's a part of it, but when you have dude tight ends, let's say it's 3rd and 5, and I'll show you some clips of this coming up here against Oregon. I put the best teams on there because that's the stage we all want to be on. Okay, so this is Tyler Warren. I got to double him somehow. I don't want to have a linebacker on him all game, so I'm going to get him down in the box. So now in the run in the pass game, you have threats because of the dudes you have. And my point is, when you have stars in the box, it's begging for a star on the outside because you're one-on-one 90% of the game. Because if they want to double Dakota, this dude is on a linebacker and I have even numbers in the box. So the final piece that we're missing, if it's a dude, whether we're going to move them all around, if it's a dude on the outside, we already got the dudes on the inside, let alone the O-line, which we'll talk about. So that's the benefit. When all the pieces are put in place, you're going to be one-on-one all the time because you have to be, because it's just math. It's 1st and 10. You have to respect handing the ball to a Nick Singleton or a Katron Allen. You have to respect Tyler Warren coming out on a route because Lord knows you're not putting him on a linebacker. Lord knows. All that means is going to be quarters and one high, and you're going to be one-on-one or behind the defense all game, and that's all I want to talk about. So here's kind of my point. So this is just a screenshot from the year we had John, and all these guys. Some of these guys played all the way up until this past year. So dudes around you. So here's Olu Fashanu, 1st-round pick with the Jets. Hunter Norzad just played in the Super Bowl with these are all active roster guys. Hunter Norzad's with the Chiefs. Our quarterback in this clip, Sean Clifford's with the Packers. Drew will be a 1st-round draft pick next year. You can't see the center, but he's the starting center for the Houston Texans. This dude's on Wall Street now. Caden's with the New England Patriots. Theo Johnson's the starting wide for the Jets, or the Giants, excuse me. There's the Mackey Award winner, Tyler Warren, and there's Brenton Strange, who's a starting tight end for the Jaguars. This is Dakota out here. So how are you going to handle that? And you can see, and then here's Nick Singleton, who hasn't been drafted yet, but will obviously be drafted as well. He's an All-American. You see the safety's eyes and demeanor. It's a screen grab. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 aggressive safeties, 8, 9, and then there's the corner. There's 10 guys in the box. There's only one remaining person. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't a place like, yeah, we need you. You'll be our one. Take him out of the box if you want to. Now a linebacker has to cover one of them. Now you're one lighter in the box in the run game. I just think that's a nice illustration of like the people around you. That's as good as anywhere in the country. As good as anywhere in the country. We're one of probably 5 teams on this level. And I know Dakota's being recruited by all of them. So what it means is this. Here's from this year. Safety in the box because you have to, again. Flat-footed safety because you have to respect the run. We talk about scheme. That's my job, Coach K's job. Nobody around Omari. Omari made a feast off just running post because you have to respect everything else. You're going to roll a safety to Tyler Warren's side. You're going to have a flat-footed safety to respect the run game. So the scheme is important, but the dudes you have obviously make the scheme go. This is a similar play to the drop back touchdown. It's Dubai. There's a million ways. Tie this guy down and put a big post over the top. And if they lift, we just come on down. We call it a top down read. So just 1, 2, 3. Just a sideline flood from the opposite side of the field. Okay, years past with Jahan, but same thing. You're going to put an extra safety in the box. That means one-on-one. This is one of the clips they showed when he got picked. Can you beat man coverage? Selling the cross route. Talking about the routes you put on tape. And again, it helps, right? Commanders, he'll be a first rounder, starts for the Giants. It all adds up. Similar, depending on, I've heard people call it a blaze route. Yep, you're selling the Dover, selling the cross route, giving head and eyes, looking, giving demeanor, and then snapping back out. Then it just turns into y'all sale. I mean, we read this one the same as the last one, what we call Dubai. Is he open? Nope. Is he open? Yep. And we just come down. We call it a 3-level read. Touchdown, first down, check down. And we just got to dig on the backside if we get pressure or if it's all strapped. So million ways to do it. And I put this on here because, again, same thing. Everybody knows who this guy is, but when you have to respect everything else, this is 2nd and 6. Even Tyler Warren is going to be one-on-one at times. And our thought process here for this game was, okay, here's a safety, smaller body, can move in space. Tyler's 6'5", 6'6", 260 pounds. Let's let him go little big body slot fade because that's just what he does. Takes it away from him. Not even a greatly thrown ball, to be honest with you. But it's just the basic math of we're gonna have to put more times than not. And we have their D coordinator now. I'm learning a ton from Jim Knowles. One more in the box than we have, just out of respect for everything else. And this is the easiest thing in the world to make a receiver. Slot fade to a receiver. I mean, that's what it's for. And this ain't picking on nobody, but again, this is the quarterfinal in the Fiesta Bowl. We're just running 4 verts. Post safety, one-on-one. You asked about touches and targets. Well, here's one. Don't come down with it. Like, we're going to target them. We have to keep them honest. Save space on the sideline, squeeze and shave. And the fact of the matter is, this right here at this level where there's 8 teams left or 4 teams left or 2 teams left, those are the plays that separate you. Now we're fortunate enough to win this game, but the opportunities are there. Same play out of 3x1, 4 verts, one-on-one. Put in the bread bucket. So that's two touchdowns we left off the board. We still beat them by double digits, but trying to get where we got to go again. Solid up front. My job to have dudes here, running backs dudes here, tight end dudes here. When you can have a dude here, you're going to be one-on-one the majority of the game, and we're going to throw you the ball. So there's 2 touchdowns taken off the board. 2-minute drive to win the Big Ten. 1-on-1, we get washed out. That's how the game ended. So my point is, in big moments, we're doing it. It's a bracket. They're going to bracket Tyler. Obviously, you're going to be 1-on-1. Can you save space? It's our job to deliver the ball. And just some examples of what it was like when you have Jahan. Okay, it's man to man. Of course it is, for all the reasons we talked about. 1-on-1, doesn't touch him, catch, get north for an explosive, get us down to the 5. Like, you're going to be, Jahan crushed it off being 1-on-1 all the time. Same thing here. I think y'all get my point, but 1-on-1, contested catch. I trimmed it down because I knew, you're all in the middle of a work day. Second 11 in the red zone, little sluggo up top. Again, who are they double teaming? The All American. Well, we got more of those. Double him if you want to. We're 1-on-1 outside. We won this one in overtime. Opportunity for another touchdown. And a lot of these are to our guy who had 720 yards this year. You know what I mean? But that's the difference. That's how close we are between 700 and 1,200 in a first round pick versus wherever he ends up going. Well, it's to be determined this year. I'd say I'm only going to speak on the past. I would say that they were very solid football players last year and had a very big part in where we got to. But it's no secret that the guys in the room need to take a step up this year to get to the next level. And then you recruit dudes who are wired to come in and want to be a guy from day one. Solid. What we put on tape last year, their facts are facts, was solid football, which is hard to be a solid football player. But that's not why we're on the call. The country doesn't see Dakota as a solid football player. 1-on-1 again, made the tough catch. So, like, the ball's going to the receivers. Here we go again. So we go 4-by-1, 1-on-1 again up top. And here's Trey running a great route. Like, I put some of the good on too, because I'm not going to knock anyone we have on our team. I've worked hard. Can you win 1-on-1? Little diamond release. The DB doesn't touch him. And then again, ball in the face mask. It's our job to put you here.
So question. It seemed like
Yes,
at the
sir.
beginning of the season, you guys had like a two quarterback system. Was it more of waiting to see who settles down? It seemed like it was two different identities within the offense.
No, so we use the two quarterback stuff as a different personnel. So like Drew was our guy. Bo Prabula, very athletic guy. We put him out here a lot of times as eye candy. We do some zone read with him. Um, we did a lot of two quarterback stuff, honestly, just to have another personnel package for the defense to have to worry about. And
Okay.
we considered it very low investment for us just to put Bo out here because he was smart. He could play all over. So low investment for us. And just one more thing a defense has to prepare for during the week. Like, but Bo didn't throw the ball too much when he was in. A lot of times it was window dressing or zone read. We'd have him run a couple routes just to break tendencies, but Drew was our guy all year.
Okay.
Now, one thing I am proud of was when Drew got nicked up at Wisconsin this year. Bo came in and won the game in the second half and played lights out and got us a road win. And we're not in the playoffs if we don't get that win. Simple as that. So he was ready when it was his time, but it wasn't like a QB controversy or anything. Like, Bo kind of knew his role and did a damn good job at it. And here we go here. So here it is, down 7 on the road. We don't go to the playoffs if we don't win this one. It's 4th and 10. I put this on here, just having dudes who are wired the right way, like Drew, games on the line. There's your 1-on-1 down low with the dig. We don't win. We don't go to the playoffs if we don't make this catch, quite frankly. But you're going to be 1-on-1. And then here's some missed opportunities down low here. Stem corner. 1-on-1 opportunity. You talk about these are your boys here, coach, but losing by 7. Y'all know when you lose a close game, it comes down to like 3 or 4 missed opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like here was one right there. You punt the ball. Trey made a hell of a play here, 1-on-1 again. Pressure, make a contested catch. Get us to the 2-yard line. And having quarterbacks, like we talk about in our room, not to get too off topic, but having quarterbacks, I'm gonna take a hit that are gonna stand in and deliver the mail and get it to our guys on time. So they did some good things. We're just trying to take that next step. One on one up top again on a dig. This is just our sword concept with the seam and a dig is one on one. And again, I say this again. Here's the difference, and this is why I love Dakota watching the tape, how he's wired. We'll get you the ball here. Now let's eat. Let's go score this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna win his one on one. Talk about yards after contact. And then kind of last couple, when you have a dude, here's Tyler. Okay, we're gonna double team him. Having QBs who are coached up well enough, that is my job, and talented enough to get through progressions and find guys. And then who wants to break a tackle and go take it to the crib? And not everyone's going to be a catch touchdown. We get it. This is Oregon, but like guys who can get through progressions, make throws. When you want to double team the other good player, you know what I'm saying? And this is kind of what I'm talking about because it's been here since I've been here. You want to heat us up? We'll get you the ball here. No different than a lot of the other clips I paused. Okay, now what? And that's the difference between a first down and a touchdown. Or whatever it was, 50-yard gain. You know, because here's a similar play, not the exact same. Okay, hard to get you that open. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who the closest guy is, but a lot of space. Okay, now let's ride. Like we're gonna move the ball. It's a conversion. It's a good play, but that's not why we're on the call. Same thing. You want to double our best player? This will be a clip that's probably shown when Drew does get drafted. But guys who can get through the read, got to do pulling his damn shirt off. Supposed to be a dig route, coming flat. It don't matter. We'll get you the ball. So that's I got a little more, but I want to be mindful of y'all's time. But that kind of makes sense what I want to walk because I want to watch that with Dakota too a little bit, but that's kind of my vision for him and how I see it fitting.
Okay. So the offensive coordinator, he was at Kansas 2 years ago.
He was at Kansas 2 years ago, yes, sir.
Okay, because my son GA's there, so I asked him for some of the film because I've been looking at studying the offense from his Kansas film.
Oh, for sure. And coach, if you want to jump on with us anytime, we can set that up and talk more scheme and thoughts and go wherever you want to go with that. I'm
Okay.
open anytime. I got your number now too, so we can link up whenever you want to. Y'all can come here too whenever. I know it's not right
Okay.
down the road, but
Yeah, I liked some of the stuff that he did. I went back and watched it, so I like some of the stuff he did do as far as
yeah.
play
So
action and everything.
let's definitely get him or come through whatever. We'll make that work. What up, Dakota?
Go talk. Go talk to your quarterback.
Hey, when you got time, I'll show you. We'll talk. We got ways, and y'all do too, man. That's why we're talking right now.
Go get your quarterback so we can figure out how to get you the ball when you're uncovered.
Hey, I want to watch some of these with you too, man. Whenever you get a sec, Dakota, this week, next week, whatever.
Yeah, because that was the issue that we had going into the playoffs. Everybody was dedicating. Like the one team first round put the nickel directly on top of him with the outside linebacker playing shade into the inside with the safety directly on top of him, which, like Coach just talked about, Dakota was that's when the other dudes, if they're gonna double triple team you, the other dudes got to step up, and that was the problem we had in the playoffs. They just didn't step up when we needed them to.
Yeah, that's the hard when to your point when you don't have other dudes like okay, you're gonna
No,
take
we have dudes. They just didn't. We have them. We have abundance of them.
you're saying I figured as much. I was yeah. You're saying just in those moments it just for whatever reason.
Correct.
Yeah.
But that's on me because that's what this whole offseason was about as far as because I'm not a heavy motion guy, but I decided I was going to be a lot motion and wanted to try to free him up and to get into a lot of stacks and everything to try to help remove so teams can't double him anymore.
We could definitely jump on, and you probably got a bunch of really good stuff already. And I want to pick your brain too, of stuff that you're studying because I'm always trying to learn. And I think what we found was like with Tyler this year and Jahan in years past, and Parker Washington, certainly KJ, shifting and motioning. Just if they don't know where he's going to start or end, it becomes harder on their rules to double and triple him or you end up with some funky matchups like you put Dakota in the backfield out of the huddle, like if you're not glued in, it could end up being a linebacker on him. Yeah, it's hard to put a corner in the box. Whatever,
Correct.
this is one of a million ways, but moving guys around makes it hard.
Yeah. So that's like I said, that was on me this playoff run. So I know he wanted to go backside X this year, but I'm still not. I'm confident in his skills. I'm more afraid that that will allow teams to even more double him. So that's why I'm thinking about leaving where he's at and just moving around the field more.
I'll tell you what, a cool one to study because we were just talking about that because we feel better about we got two transfer portal receivers in this year. A great team. I'd love to watch them with you. A great team to study is the Vikings with Jefferson, who plays the X for them, of how they move them around. Because typically, with your X on the ball, it can be harder to shift in motion. But I think they do a really good job of getting Jefferson touches, even though he plays the X. But not that he is going to play X for you, but
Right.
just that's a fun one to study. And I'm really good buddies with Kevin O'Connell's best friend, really. So I got all their film and cut ups and
Okay.
all that stuff.
Okay.
So cool, man.
And in their defense, they was all babies. Like Dakota was the eldest statesman in the room. He's a sophomore. We had freshmen all over the field. So
Right.
you know that's
That's part
baby
of the
showed.
journey. Yep, that's
Yeah,
part of the journey.
the baby came out of him in the semifinals. So
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for having gone through the fire one time and coming back hungry, and they've seen it and they've been there. You know what I mean? Like this won't
yeah,
be the.
See Dakota had an advantage his freshman year. He had all seniors and he was the baby. So then flip the season. Now he's the elder statesman and everybody else is the baby in the
Yeah,
room. So
yeah. Had to grow up quick. I love it, man. Well, cool, man. I don't want to eat up too much of your work day, but I really appreciate y'all jumping
no,
on.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
gonna tell you now. One kid, y'all, I tried to get y'all Deion Burks, brought him up there. Y'all didn't pull the trigger on my kid. Like,
I'm gonna follow back up on that one because I know the name.
he's at Oklahoma now. He went to Purdue. He's probably going.
Oh, what year was that? I'm thinking of a different Dion. I'm thinking of Dion. He won Harper Woods even.
I was. That's
Yeah,
when I was the
because
OC at
when
Belleville. That's when I was the OC at Belleville.
yeah.
And
It's a
he was a
small world,
diehard.
man.
He was a diehard Penn State. A diehard.
Yeah, because he went into the portal, right?
Yep. He ended up at Oklahoma.
Yeah, I remember him, man. That's where it was. I'm confusing a 26 kid and him. I remember watching him.
Yeah.
He was a Belleville kid, huh? I did not
Yes.
even. Oh,
Yes.
man.
Yep. He was my bill. He was my because I had him in. Jabari Buttons. JB was on that same team. JB came to
Okay.
you guys as a linebacker.
Yeah. That was yeah. So Dion would have been before me because obviously with Underwood, I was at Belleville a bunch.
Right.
Cool,
Well,
cool, man.
you guys keep up the good work, man. I like what you guys are doing. Honestly, I
No,
do.
likewise, likewise. Let's both get a ring this year.
Yes, sir.
And then, hey, for real, coach, you got my number now. Like, hit me up if you want to jump on with me, Coach K, watch some stuff. Like,
We definitely will do. You're talking to the wrong person. You tell me that it's open. Like I said, I bug my son. I bug everybody all the time. Yeah.
hey, hey, you're talking to the wrong one too. Now we'll fire this thing up. I'll miss a meeting for that.
All right. All right, gentlemen. Let me get back down here on the
All right.
floor.
Good meeting
All
you,
right. Yep.
coach.
Yep. Thanks.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna watch this with you now.